New York City is mind-boggling, and it uses a mind-boggling amount of water every day. How much, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. 1 billion gallons. That's exactly enough water for 1,015.15 Olympic-sized swimming pools around the world to be filled with one day's worth of totally normal rent prices and 19-mile-per-hour currents of pedestrian traffic. Isn't that impressive? The Delaware Aqueduct supplies about half of that billion gallons of water, and that tunnel is so big that a subway car could drive through it. Please don't try that though. 1 billion gallons a day. That's enough H2O to fill over 63 Olympic-sized swimming pools every single hour. During a recent visit to the area, I interviewed a fish who claimed he would prefer to stay in the Catskills. This engineering marvel, the Delaware Aqueduct, the longest continuous tunnel in the world, stretches 85 miles from the Catskill Mountains to the Big Apple, which of course is the nickname given to New York City because of its sprawling Apple store. It's been in operation since 1944, and get this, it's been leaking since the 70s. The Delaware Aqueduct, not the Apple store. They came around later, and they're pretty good at preventing leaks. So yeah, the thing is leaking. And this tunnel is deep. 2,500 feet underground at its lowest point. That's like stacking 2 Chrysler buildings on top of each other and then burying them. Wouldn't that be cool? The tunnel itself is 13.5 feet wide. Plenty of room for that subway car joyride we talked about before. It carries up to 600 million gallons of water daily, with the remaining 400 million gallons of water coming from sources like the Catskill Aqueduct and rain or whatever, meaning that by now, the fish I spoke to earlier could already be waiting for you in your bathtub. Gross. Now you might be thinking, or maybe just the long tunnel fans tuning in are thinking, longest tunnel in the world? That can't be right. But according to Guinness World Records, the Delaware Aqueduct is the longest continuous tunnel in the world that's actually in use. At 85 miles long, it beats out Japan's Seikan Tunnel at 33.5 miles, and the Channel Tunnel between Britain and France at 31.4 miles.
Blimey!
But wait, I hear you say. What about that really long water tunnel in China? Well, the central line of China's south to north water diversion project is technically longer at 889.8 miles. But it's not a continuous tunnel. It's a series of tunnels and channels. So our New York tunnel keeps the crown. Not bad for something built before color TV was invented. Construction began in 1939, and let me tell you, these weren't your average construction workers. These were sandhogs, tough as nails individuals who weren't afraid to get down and dirty. The term sandhogs originated with workers digging the sandy bottom of the East River to build the Brooklyn Bridge. The term later expanded to describe any laborer working underground in the city and became specifically tied to the local 147 Sandhogs Union. Thousands of these brave souls toiled for years, facing incredible dangers while building this vital artery. Here's where it gets even more impressive. The entire system runs on gravity alone. No pumps, no electricity, no hamster wheels, just good old-fashioned physics. The tunnel slopes gently downhill, a mere 2 feet per mile, but over 85 miles, that adds up. It's like nature's water slide, delivering water to 8.8 million thirsty New Yorkers. Quick history lesson. It's long been argued that the name Catskill is derived from the Dutch word Tatterskill, which means I don't speak Dutch. But in the Dutch language, that word means Wildcat Creek. So no, it probably wasn't named after a giant, mythical mountain cat, but rather a regular-sized default world wildcat, who was hunting for food at the same creek where I talked to that fish, trying to eat his early relatives, and asked them to name a mountain range after him. So they did. And now for the not-so-good news. This amazing piece of engineering has sprung a few leaks. We're talking up to 30 million gallons a day. That's enough for one person to take over 1.7 million showers. Since the average person showers once daily, you'd have to live to age 4,834.8 to receive the full 30 million gallons of leaky water you stole from a vital aqueduct that one day. You would also have to worry about storing all of that water until your last shower, which would be expensive and weird. Fixing these leaks is a delicate operation. Imagine trying to patch a pipe while water's gushing through it. And remember, millions of people are relying on that water. This makes the repair process incredibly delicate and complex. This huge project, part of a massive investment in New York City's infrastructure, is a must-do. It's not just about fixing those pesky leaks. It's also about making sure the city has clean water for years to come. It's one of the most complex engineering projects ever attempted, showing that even the best laid plans, or tunnels, can sometimes leak. If you want to read the full transcript of my conversation with the fish, let me know in the comments. Expected to fully reopen in May 2025, the NYC Department of Environmental Protection, or DEP, maintains that the Delaware Aqueduct remains one of the most significant pieces of infrastructure in North America, demonstrating how the most crucial systems are often the ones we can't see. If you can see that like button, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more weekly content. And if you know any sandhogs, thank them for New York City's water.